Dear white people, welcome to the Shakaama live show with your host, Shakaama. This is part 2 in the Dear White People series. I cannot in good conscience simply make videos that make you feel good. Also, as a libertarian, I cannot in good conscience go along with this politically correct society that says that you have to say nice things to people and be super nice to them and not call out stuff. You're under attack, white people. You're under attack. My channel is alternative media channel. My channel is a truth channel. If you cannot tolerate the truth, then you don't need to be on my channel. I can see now that although I had an influx of 2,000, 10,000 people in the course of a week, that it was all for naught because the 10,000 people were very sensitive people who can't actually tolerate, although they said that they really enjoyed my exposition and intellectual verbiage and analysis and legal acumen on the matter at hand, which was the Toby Turner rape allegation case. So you can tolerate that. You can appreciate and even applaud the intellect that went into those series of videos. But when I go back to speaking about the social evils that go on, you don't want to hear that. You revile against it. Shakaama, stop talking about white people. Stop talking about white people. I'm sorry, I will not. You don't even understand the inequality that exists in the United States. You don't comprehend it. It doesn't even enter into your psyche. I'm a rich black guy, and I am constantly bombarded with all sorts of bigotry, prejudice, and racism. I'm a rich, privileged guy. Privileged. I speak 5 languages. I'm used to having servants. Even the poorest of you don't have to deal with the heartaches and stress that I have to deal with. So excuse me if I spare your feelings and tell you that your educational system is horrible and you can't even begin to understand that you don't understand. I'm not saying you're evil. I'm saying that there are people in positions of power who have made you stupid, who've made you dumb, who've made you uncaring. Oh, you think you care, but you don't. You didn't even understand that you don't care. And that is a travesty in my book. And you're not intellectual. That's what really annoys me. But I will keep going on making my videos. And if I have to sift through all the fools who get offended when I say this is happening to white people, I'm not even saying white people are bad or good or indifferent. I'm just saying this is happening to just white people. This little detail right here is happening to white people. How dare you say the word white, Shakaama? You can't say that. I am not a politically correct guy. This is the intellectual corner. You have come to the intellect. This is how intellectuals talk about things without emotion. If you're going to be emotional because you've been brought up in this feminist ideology of the world that men have to defend women, when they're actually asking for equality, I give them equality. You want equality? Here you go. Shakaama now gives you equality. That means you must defend your position on each and every topic, each and every subject. And I am not going to hold back on how I say you're a fool, how I say you're a liar, how I say that your position does nothing for women and does absolutely nothing for men, and in fact, it's against men. You want equality? I give you full equality. You have to defend your position. And for those who get offended that I talk about white people, I'll talk about black people too. I'll talk about Asian people too. I'll talk about every single group. And here's the deal. I'm assuming that I'm speaking to intellectuals, and in the mix of my audience are stupid people, uneducated people, dumb people. So I've already said this before. I have to dumb down my videos so that even the dumbest of the dumb can understand what I'm talking about. Now, if you get offended that I use common terms, common labels, and you get offended by that, yet you want to pretend that you're superior, you want to pretend that you're intellectual, then you are lying to yourself. Do you know what the things that people say to me? And how, if I were of the mind, I could take offense, but I would be taking offense all day. I understand, due to my superior education level and the psychology that I've taken, I understand exactly where they're coming from, what they're saying, and why they said the things that they said and the way that they said them. I take zero offense to them. You know who I get offended? Why I would ever be offended? I only get offended for my audience. You could say all the nasty, horrible things that you say in the comments that I have to weed out, but to keep my channel in some sort of semblance of an intellectual vein, I weed out the completely trash comments. I let certain trolls get through. Google takes all of these horrible comments out. I have to then go into the dumpster, dig them out, and put them back on the channel. Or if it's not Google, it's other people. So if you don't see your comment, more than likely your co-listener to my videos has thumbed down or even flagged your comment. Dear white people, first time in history, white deaths outnumber births in U.S. 13 June 2013. Deaths of white people outnumbered births for the very first time in U.S. history, the Census Bureau revealed Thursday. The census predicts that significant drops in birth rates versus death rates will be regular by 2025. The new 2012 annual census calculation birth minus death as of July 2012 and saw a decrease of about 12,400 people out of 198 million non-Hispanic whites in the country. Several demographers have pointed out that no other racial group in the U.S. experienced a similar drop. Such a national decrease within the white population is the first of its kind and was not even observed in the U.S. during wars or depression, the Washington Post reported. Non-Hispanic whites in the U.S. are older than all other groups, with a median age of 42. In comparison, the median age of Asians is 34. For African Americans, it is under 32. And for Hispanics, it is under 28. Quote, we're jumping the gun on a long, slow decline of our white population, which is going to be characterized this century. Demographer with the Brookings Institute, William Frey, who analyzed the census data and told the Washington Post. The data also revealed that half of the Americans under age 5 group is made up of racial and ethnic minorities, amounting to 49.9% in 2012. If the current rate of growth continues, then the whites in the under 5 group will become a minority in 2013, 2014. The Census Bureau Acting Director Thomas Massenberg told AP. The Bureau also predicts that just in 5 years, minorities will become the majority of children under 18. And after the mark, the total white population will start to significantly decline as aging baby boomers will start dying. The decline in birth rates for the past several years included demographic and economic factors. One reason is women with college degrees are choosing careers and are postponing getting married and having kids till at least late into their 20s. The census shows that if women have children later in life, they will opt to have fewer of them and be unable to have more. Also, data reveal that white women are more likely to be childless than Hispanic or African American women. The economic recession that hit the U.S. in 2007 also had a negative impact in birth rates, as more white women believed that they could not afford to have more kids. The 2012 fall in white births versus death ratio is not the first alarming number that was released to the public this past couple of years. The 2011 census, published in May 2012, showed that for the first time in U.S. history, white births make up fewer than half the children born in the country, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Non-Hispanic whites accounted for 49.6% of all births in the 12-month period in 2011 that ended last July. A drop in non-Hispanic white population came a decade earlier than the Census Bureau predicted initially. Demographers cited 2 factors as reason for the earlier drop: decreasing birth rate and slower immigration levels. Birth rate and immigration usually balance out a population decrease. Moreover, the inflow of 188,000 white immigrants into the U.S. in 2012 played a role at keeping non-Hispanic whites at 63% of the country's population, the largest single group in the U.S. Demographer Ken Johnson believes there is hope yet. Quote, once this recession has waned, we're probably going to see at least temporary uptick in births until death rates start to rise, he said. Thank you for watching the Shakaama Live Show.